Hello, everyone. What a joy it is to be with you tonight. Let me begin by thanking the brilliant team at the Vatican Observatory for opening this sacred space to us. Just look around. This isn't just a lecture hall. It's a cathedral of learning, where stone meets starlight, where questions echo as far as quasars. I'm Elisa Strickland. Back in Los Angeles, I teach astrobiology at Belmont High School. Yes, I'm a science teacher, and also a full-time wrangler of curious, distracted, brilliant teenagers. But tonight, under this extraordinary dome, I'd like to invite you to do what my students and I do every day. Ask big questions, the kind that begin with what if? What if we're not alone? What if life evolved differently somewhere else? What if the universe is smarter than we think? Astrobiology is the science of life in the universe, where it might exist, how it might begin, and what it could look like beyond Earth. We study habitable zones, regions around stars where liquid water could exist. We examine amino acids found in meteorites. We use radio telescopes to search for signals that aren't just static. But every now and then, a student will throw you a question that doesn't fit in any textbook. One day, a student of mine, Derek Jones, raised his hand and asked, "What if the human mind is already wired to sense more than science can measure?" And that's when I remembered why I teach. Because real science starts where formulas end. It starts in wonder, and wonder is not childish. It's not naive. It's essential. Let me give you an example that blends science and symbolism. Back in the 1800s, coal miners brought canaries into mines. Why? Because canaries are highly sensitive to toxic gas. If the bird stopped singing, it meant the mine wasn't safe. Today I tell my students, we are the canaries, celestial canaries. We're small, fragile, and musical, facing real threats here on Earth: climate change, habitat collapse, extinction events. But unlike canaries, we build telescopes. We ask questions that reach beyond our sky, and we dream about survival, not just for ourselves, but for every voice still singing on this planet. Some people say we dream about space because we want to escape Earth, but I think it's the opposite. We dream about space because we love Earth, and we want to protect it by expanding what's possible. That means exploring other planets, building sustainable life systems, and maybe one day, sending birds, plants, and even ecosystems to other worlds. NASA's already thinking about it. They've explored how to grow crops on Mars, how to protect astronauts from cosmic radiation, even how to use a bird's biology to detect oxygen and temperature in sealed habitats. That's not fantasy. That's frontier science. And your generation might be the one that makes it real. But it won't just take engineers and astronauts. It will take philosophers, poets, people who think sideways. We need students who ask, what would a civilization look like that evolved without war? What kind of physics would be needed to fold space like paper? What if love is the highest form of intelligence? Because here's the truth. Science isn't just about answers. It's about bold, radical questions. Even Albert Einstein said, "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious." And if you're someone who feels overwhelmed by science, I want to let you in on a secret. Scientists don't know everything. In fact, the best ones are the first to admit what they don't know. We're still figuring out how gravity works at the quantum level. We don't know exactly what consciousness is, and dark matter, which makes up most of the universe, is still, well, dark. But we're trying, and that's what matters. So if you've ever looked up at the night sky and felt something tug at you, something beautiful and a little terrifying, you're in the right headspace to be a scientist, or an explorer, or a teacher, or a storyteller who explains the universe to others. All of these paths matter, especially now, because our world needs minds that stay open, and hearts that stay kind, and voices that aren't afraid to say, "I don't know, but I want to." So tonight I challenge you, whether you're 12 or 92, to ask the biggest question you can imagine. Write it down, say it out loud, whisper it to the stars, and don't be surprised if the stars whisper something back.